And I figure, man, if I can resell that to all of my competitors and people I know, then it's like huge win-win for all of us, right?
When the doubt gets loud, but answer that call. Vision ain't real till you grind that speed, so breathing deep. Then call the damn leads. Call the damn leads.
Hey, welcome back to Call the Damn Leads, the show by sales professionals for sales professionals. I'm your host, Drewbie Wilson. With more than 2 decades in the game, I've seen it, heard about it, been through it. Now I'm bringing those stories to you, my favorite people in the world, the sales community. So let's be honest, this is the greatest job on earth. It doesn't matter where you come from, what background, what personality type. You can carve out a pretty amazing life in sales. And today's guest is a true friend of mine, someone I've known for many, many years. I've had the pleasure of watching grow, doing awesome things. He's my friend, Mr. Kevin O'Neill. Welcome to the show, brother.
Welcome back to the show. Welcome back
to the show.
I did this, I did your show a couple years ago.
Holy smokes, you did, didn't you? Were you like one of the first guests? This is the crazy part about this world. Like, once you start stacking and racking content, you forget how many great conversations you've had. So welcome back to the show, Mr. Kevin O'Neill.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Different topics, different guy. I definitely think I'm a different guy than I was 2 years ago. Learning.
Tell us more, man. I want to jump right. Like, give me your craziest sales story from the last 2 years.
Craziest sales story. Yeah. So before, 2 years ago, I was just full entrepreneur mode. And then, I had to jump back into the sales seat on a startup I had spun up, and I was getting a ton of inbound, just apps closed because of my own podcast and my place in the industry. So when I spun up Take My Boat Test, it was just like, I was just like, yeah, dude, they're going to all close when they hear my voice on the phone. I'm the only guy doing podcasts in our industry. Like, this is like, even my partner was just like, what do you think? We're just going to get clients because you're fucking Kevin O'Neill. And I was like, yeah, I do. Actually. So I actually had contact a friend in Key West, who would be a what I would consider a good fit for Take My Boat Test. And I guess I'll give the quick, just so we're on the same page of what it is we do. I don't actually sell anything, right? Where it is costs you money. It's like, just put an affiliate link on your website. They click the link. They take my test for their jet skis and boaters. That's mandated by Florida. You have to offer it, and I'm going to pay you a higher commission, right? So to me, it's a no-brainer, right? I'm just like, takes you 10 minutes to switch out a link. Takes you 0 minutes if you just have your IT guy do it. But these are like knucklehead jet ski operators, boat rental, blue collar guys. And the last, I call them up. They're like, Kevin, what's going on? And I'm like, fuck, God, I'm going to pitch you. And they're like, God damn it. What? And so I've known this guy 20 years, bro. And so I call him up and I'm like, hey man, Jerry, I got started this new boater safety test thing. It's really great. We're going to pay you more money. And then it's just like wall. And I'm like, fucking, what's going on, dude? I'm like, this is the easiest thing in the world. And then all of the rebuttals start coming in that I'm totally unprepared for. Let me ask my wife, and I'm just not ready, and like all this shit. And I'm just like, God, dude, I don't want any money from you, right? Like, it's just an affiliate. Like, I'm not a tech guy. I'm like, you don't have to be, dude. You know what I mean? Totally unprepared. And so, dude, I've been running, like, and I'm not trying to flex here, but a lot of the people that I call, my boat rental and jet ski business, of which I do the same thing that they do. Take My Boat Test isn't my main thing. It's just a thing that I do that's integrated with the thing I do, right? And
a necessary piece of what you do, if I understand correctly.
100%, dude. Like, why wouldn't I fucking monetize every last piece of my business? Like, I don't want anybody making money off my shit, dude. Like, I want to make all the money off my shit, right? Margins are already super thin for any small business owner. So any way that I can put add-ons, upsells, cross-sells on any of my shit, and I figure, man, if I can resell that to all of my competitors and peers and people I know, then it's like huge win-win for all of us, right? Mostly for me. As it
should be for small business owners. I want to pause there for a second, because I think This is something you and I have definitely talked about over the years, in that some people want to run their business for vanity and numbers and things like that. But at the end of the day, like, you got to have money in the bank. You got to be profiting, and you got to be living your life the way that you want to be living. Or like, what's the point? Sorry, I had to just like,
no,
I
you're
know
good.
We talked about that, dude, and it's so crazy how people just don't think about maximizing in every area they can.
100%, dude, because like when I break down the numbers for them, right? So if I call my competitor, I'm like, I'm offering whatever it is, $1 more per test or $2 more per test. But it's like, dude, if you know your numbers, you're putting out like, depending on the size of your business, you're putting 2, 3, 4,000 of these things out, dude. Why wouldn't you? Even if it was $1 more, dude, for 3-4 grand for 10 minutes, I don't know how much fucking money you're making, dude. But I could tell you this is just simple economics. And then I could take it a step further and be like, all right, dude, well, if you're getting $3 per test or whatever it is, and I'm offering you $4 per test, it's a 25% increase, bottom line, of pure profit that you don't have to ever think about. This is the only call you got this decade about switching, because it's like me and one other guy, dude. You don't think about this shit. This is just, and I get it. It's a sales pitch. I'm a slick sales guy, whatever the fuck you want to think, dude. But I mean, I can tell you in real dollars and cents that you have one upsell on your shit, and we won't even get into all the other things wrong with your business, because I could probably act as a consultant to it. And this is sort of my problem when I'm on the phone, because I'm talking to a guy who does, 500,000, 60, 70,000 EBITDA, does like, my boat rental business does $3 million, dude. You know what I mean? And it's not like, oh my God, I'm Elon Musk or anything, but I've got almost 50 vessels in my fleet. So a lot of time I'm talking to somebody that's a smaller operator than I, and they don't have a podcast, and they don't have an event, and they don't sit there, eat shit, live and breathe the content around water sports in our industry like I do. Like I truly am. And luckily, thank God, a one of one. There is no other. We're not roofing, dude. There's not 20 other roofing guys. There's not 30 other roofing podcasts. It's like, I'm it, dude. If you want to start a boat rental business, charter business, and you're looking for content in this industry, I'm it, man. I'm fucking first mover advantage. So with that, also huge ego, massive ego. I'm like, I'm a guy, dude. I know everything. I'm bigger than you. I'm better than you. And so he starts shooting up rebuttals. And then he's just like, well, the customers do this and the customers do that, and your test is a little more expensive than our competitors by like fucking $2, right? And I'm like, who's not running a jet ski? Because the test that they have to take, that they find out about post-fact, because they rent the ski, find out about the test, go to wherever you tell them to go, buy the test. Like it's like you have put so much crazy thought into this and created a customer journey that only exist in your imagination, right? Mm-hmm. And that's my problem.
Own cheapness, not wanting to take $2 to pay more for the test to do the thing that you want to do on vacation. Like,
dude, me and this guy,
out of their own pocket, the craziest. Yeah. Anyway,
me and this guy get into a fucking like an argument, man. Like I'm arguing. I'm like, first of all, why are you doing this piece of it? Why are you telling your customers that? It makes no sense, man. And then me and him are going back and forth, and we're fucking arguing. And then I realized real fast that I might not be the guy. I might not be the guy for this. Like, I'll get up there on the stage. I'll get up there, do the thing. But I'm like, you need to go talk to my salesperson, because I'm going to get pissed. I got another one for you, dude. So so to this point, we go road dogging it, dude. Me and my business partner, we go fucking cold calling, knocking doors, bro. And he is like a Grant Cardone guy, like hard fucking sell. I'm more of like a relationship guy, which I'll just talk to you like my buddy. And yes, I'll tell you you're fucking up, which is not the way.
Oh boy.
So we're on the road, man, me and Steve. And Steve is a true hard sales guy. You tell him to fuck off, and then he'll walk away. But if you keep on just putting up like little soft pants rebuttal and my wife and this and that, whatever it is, I'm busy, he's not going to leave until you tell him to go away. So he's doing this like in person, right? I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Okay. All right. I'm learning now. So we go out to this, like, fucking, we're in the middle of nowhere, Podunk, fucking Florida. And we're just, Googling jet ski rental businesses, boat rental businesses, and stopping. And a lot of times on the water, they're all concentrated. So it's like boom, 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 boom. We can hit a bunch. So we're like midday, hot as fuck. We go out there and I see this guy, man, just fat fuck, man, like sweating, dirty tank top. His skis look like shit. And I'm just like, dude, let's just move on, man. I don't even want this guy as a fucking client. I can already tell what it is. Because again, Steve is a marketing agency sales guy. I know these guys like I fucking know my kids, dude. And I can see it's 4:30, whatever it is, dude. He's packing up for the day. He's like ready to go home. And he's in there, he's flushing his skis, right? So you got to put fresh water through your jet ski, flush it out, make sure there's no salt water in it, whatever. So I know that's end of the day procedure shit, dude. He's literally going to flush these skis out and get his fucking car and go home. And so I'm like, you go handle this one, dude. So he walks over there and I'd kind of like sheepishly walk behind him. And he's like, hey man, this goes into his fucking pitch. And the guy's like, oh God, what did he fucking say? He's just like, yeah, we were doing it for a while and then we just stopped. And then Steve's and like, you have to offer it. You can't just stop. And I don't know if he meant like he just stopped doing like the commission side or whatever he meant, but Steve's just like fucking incredulous. And he's just like, what? You just don't like money? And I'm like, what you fucking dude, what the fuck? And then he starts talking again, and the guy fucking just ramps up his jet ski in the middle of him talking, and he's still talking, dude. I'm looking at him, and I'm like, dude, we're not gonna close him, bro. Like, I mean, he's just like cigarette in his mouth, looking at him and just revving up the fucking jet ski, like, go fuck yourself, dude. And I'm like, he might not have said go fuck yourself, but in jet ski rental business, that is go fuck yourself. That is a hard no. Let's move on, man.
Well, you know, you got to learn how to read the room. We were saying that to my son over the weekend. That is a big one that I think there's such a dynamic in sales professionals. This is what I love about the industry, right? You and I, very much relationship based. We know how to get into a hard sell when it's necessary, but it's usually because the person can't make a decision for themselves. And like, ultimately we're just really trying to help them. Like that's when our hard sell side comes out, when we're like, listen, I have no idea why you wouldn't do this thing. Like, help me understand. And then you kind of walk them through it. But then there's the other side where people are just relentless. You know, you think about the booth guys in the mall and the gals that are spraying you with cologne when you walk by. And it's just like, holy moly. But what I will say, though, is there's a way for everyone to be successful in sales. And so what I'd be curious to pull out of these couple of absolutely hilarious stories from you, Kevin, is like, you go on this journey. You're seeing your side, you're seeing his side. What's the big takeaway as you start seeing yourself actually closing deals and getting people to come on board? Like, what's the shift that gets people to say, okay, let's have a conversation around this?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question, man. Maybe after this, I book you for an hour and you tell me. I bet you know faster than I do, dude. You know, for some people, you know, when we started this, Steve was just like, yeah, you know, to that whole conversation about, are they just going to sign up with you because you're Kevin O'Neill? And I'm like, yeah. And his idea was like, we're going to charge more and offer a higher commission. So there's really something on the end of this for them that's tangible, right? And sort of like some of the things that I saw were not about the money. And yeah, right back to my initial thought was like the brand, who we are. We're the only company in this vertical, in this niche, that offers what we do that's run by an actual operator. And sometimes that's a plus, sometimes that's a minus. I've had my competitors that are like, well, you get all of our data. And I'm like, that's true. Because it all goes through a booking system. So everybody, whether or not they get the test or not, I get their reservation. Like, I've got an email list with over 1 million fucking people on it, dude. And so I've had competitors in my market be like, well, you know, what would stop you from using that data and go remarket your boats and jet skis? And I'm like, well, because I'm not a scumbag, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I would never do that. I could sell that data to massive TripAdvisors and Get Your Guides and all these online OTA and brokerages that sell sports. So like a lot of money. And it wouldn't even occur to me to do that. And so, you know, and so the other one is like, yeah, we're Florida based, right? Our competitors are based offshore. They've got, you know, Indian developers, like everything we do here is stateside. So I really do think that ultimately, and you hear this a lot in every industry, that it's like comes down to your core values and who you are as a person and know, like, and trust and all that shit. And I've seen the needle get moved on that massively. I've had people that are like, what, you're based in the US? Sold. And another huge needle mover for us is that when I come in and I'm not in market, we don't have the data. That's only happened with, one guy here locally, but when we go and we hit the road and we talk to people, it's that, like, I truthfully know their business. I know their struggles. I know what they're going through every single day, and I'm able to connect those pieces for them, right? So when they're like, oh man, my insurance is high. Well, why is your insurance high? It's like, oh, because we have XYZ on our loss runs. And I'm like, okay, well, if you did A, you did B, you did C, you did D, and then, like, I can connect that to, like, hey man, like, we deliver the test faster. I understand that because I'm an operator. We isolate it through GHL and knock on their door and constantly until the client takes the test, because I know that if the client gets there late and then they're rushing on the education side, the dockhand is rushing to get them on the ski. Well, what happens when we're rushing to do something? Accident, higher insurance premiums. And then I can kind of create like a straight line and I'm going to do it here in another hour to be like, hey man, and this is just like a common thing we hear all the time. How you do anything is how you do everything, dude. Whether you know it or not, this is all interconnected. And this one little small piece to me, highlights everything else, what your skis look like. Are you waiting to the end of the day to flush them? How do you maintain your equipment? Do you have leadership? Are you really teaching your dockhands? All these things. So, at the end of the day, I do think that it is, making a connection with somebody, and through the sales process, I think, like, through all what I train people is, like, constantly ask questions. And you and I we talked about this during our last consult, and it's just like, we're trying to understand. And at the end of the day, if we get to the end of it, if I've done all the understanding that I can and there's not a true market fit there, then there's just no fit, right? So I think you have to sort of go through that process and see where the connection gets made. And if you're truly being of service to them and make the most sense to them. And that's something that not just my company, but I think all sales professionals, they have to go through that journey of just you're not trying to close, man. This is discovery. It's always discovery. And I get it. Like, I know sometimes you're like, oh man, it's like we want the discovery to lead to a close all the time. But you really have to understand that if through all that discovery, like, there's always going to be some new, like, what? Like, your rebuttal is why? It's not just some index card thing or whatever. And then if you can make that connection and truthfully make the connection, not bullshit, you know what I mean? Not Andy Elliott fucking horseshit. Like, you truly make that connection and you can be of service to them, and it does make all the sense. But if you've thought about it, I think your product, as much as you probably should be, right? Product knowledge is fucking huge. I don't have to tell you. But if you've obsessed over it, then those rebuttals inside and out. That why you're making the call in the first place is that there is that connection there. And if there's not, it's like the one of 1,000. Otherwise, you wouldn't be making the call.
Woo! See, it's like you just blacked out and dropped a gem. Remember that scene in Accepted? What was it, Accepted or old school? Will Ferrell, he's doing the debate, and he's like, what? See, Kevin, you're brilliant, and yet you still... earlier on the show, you were laughing. You're like, oh, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, but what you really explained there, and I love how you did this, was the brilliance of know your product service and know your client, because all of them have their own unique problems, right? Everybody's got their own issue. My issue is special. Mine's different than everybody else. And okay, sure, maybe. But the difference is the variables that they're dealing with in their life. And so an expert will come in and understand the person first, and then be able to correlate where those variables are solved using the specific product or service, right? So for your instance, it's, hey man, tell me a little bit about what you got going on, how you do this. Do you offer the test? Okay, great. What does that look like? If you were able to do it this, and this, and it saved you in this and gave you this additional value point, would it be worth the conversation? And so you're basically just educating them on ways that they can be more effective to be successful. And you get that from, in your case, decades of experience. For new guys, though, that are in an industry that they're not having a decade of experience in, it's like, how do you do that? You ask questions, you learn, you just shut up and listen to what people have to say. And man, these guys that have been around, they'll talk to you. And sometimes, like you said, that discovery doesn't lead to a sale, but it can lead to you being significantly more educated on how to approach your next conversation. And I think that's a piece that people miss when it comes to putting in the reps and making those calls and just going out there and, like you said, road dogging it to figure out what do we got to do to be that go-to in this market. And so, man, it's brilliant how you laid that out, because there's so many guys out there that have a small business that's kind of service based and relied upon, the community, that they're not going out and doing what they got to do to figure out how they can best serve. So I appreciate the depth that you went to there, man, because it should help some people that are paying attention.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, it helps my bank account,
Hey, that's what we got in sales. Listen, sales is here for a reason, man, because we don't want to go do anything else. And a lot of us realize that, like, working for someone is not the route that we want to be in. And so you go out, you learn sales, you figure out how to take care of people, and you do a good job of it. And you get to do like my man Kevin. You got a podcast, you've got a book that you've written now, man. Like, you're out there doing the damn thing, but you're solidifying yourself as an authority by sharing what actually works for your industry and for the operators that want to continue to be successful in it. So, man, kudos to you.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, I lead a pretty good life, man. I'm pretty happy with what I do, and I fucking like it. I got a couple nice little commodity products and businesses that are just like, hinged on local SEO. I don't have to get out there too hard and fucking, create a bunch of attention and all that shit, and make money and live my life and go on the road and fucking do what I want to do, dude. So it's like, I'm very lucky, man. I've tripped and fell and landed in a good seat. So.
Well, and I'm sure you and I could sit here and nerd out and have fun for many hours together, and we have offline, but I want to respect your time. I know you're busy today, man. What's the best way for everyone to come find you, follow you, check out all your content and materials, and to learn more about what you got going on?
Oh, dude. We're in the middle of like a massive rebrand right now on the personal branding side of things. At the moment, if you want to read some more silly stories, I wrote a book last year called From Mate to Millionaire. I have done zero fucking marketing on it. I'm like, man, I know how much time and effort and work goes into it. I've always wanted to write a book for the last 30 years. I wrote the book. I was so happy it got done, and that was huge. That's the most payment. I could sell 0 books and I'd be completely stoked. It is a operational guidebook on how to start a boat rental business, a jet ski rental business, or if you're passionate about doing charters, taking people out on the water. It's an easy read. It's like 135 pages, and it's just like story, lesson, where we're at today, what that lesson taught me, and how it brought me full circle. So I feel like it's engaging. And if you're wanting to get into any lifestyle business, you could replace boat rental, jet ski with whatever it is that you love to do. A lot of people call them hobby businesses, they're passion businesses, but it's a roadmap for how to scale what you love to do and are super interested in. And I'm fucking super proud of it. You can just go find it on Amazon, search From Mate to Millionaire. I tried, I did come up with a website. I'm not going to give it, because if you put in an order there, it's not going to be delivered, dude. I'm not going to go to the post office and mail you a book.
Kevin, I got to teach you something, man. You got to.
We'll book another consult, dude. We'll get in there, dude. I think me and you and I got some shit. But yeah, just for right now, go to Amazon, get the book there. You can also pick up the book at, and it's just going to lead you right back to Amazon. It's the watersportspodcast.com. We are in the next 2 months, that will change. There'll be a redirect there to Greg and KevinLive.com, which is my podcast partner. You can find me on Facebook, Kevin O'Neill. I'm not really like a big Instagram. I'm really bad about marketing my personal brand. Awkward Watersports Guys podcast. And we talk again, kind of same thing. And we do a yearly event. We do it all over the state of Florida. This year we'll be doing it in Destin, Florida. That's called the Port Watersports Conference. And again, you can find it at you can find it at watersportspodcast.com. Soon to be Greg and Kevin. This will all be under I'm fixing this right now. GregandKevinLive.com in March will be live. At the moment, right. Watersportspodcast.com. There you go. A lot. I do a lot. You want to rent a boat? DestinyWaterAdventures.com. You want your house lit up for fucking Christmas? FlowGlowChristmas.com. You fucking want to get boat tests? TakeMyBoatTest.com, dude. I've got a lot of fucking brands to manage here, man. Listen, but they all make me money.
Our blog post is about to be juiced up with SEO. That's all I know about that. So listen, you guys, if you enjoyed the episode as much as I did, share it on social media, tag a friend. Maybe you know somebody who has a hobby business and they absolutely suck at it. You don't have to tell them they suck, but like if you know they're not making the money and living the life they should, have them go read Kevin's book From Mate to Millionaire. Have them listen to the show. Listen, the guy is just giving away the game on how to be successful and live an awesome life. And he's showing you in real time. He went on vacation for like 3 months last year, traveled around in a dang RV, had fun, lived his best life, and his business still ran while he was doing it. So make sure you guys follow him, check out the content, share this episode. Maybe you've got a crazy ass sales story. You want to be a guest. I'd love that. That's what we do here is share wild sales stories. Go to callthedamnleads.com/podcast. Send us your details. We'll get you booked in. While you're there, though, grab a hat, sweatshirt, maybe some keychains, maybe one of my books. And because you know what's really next, you got to go pick up the phone. Call those damn leads. We'll see you guys next time.
When the doubt gets loud, but answer that call. Vision ain't real till you grind that speed, so breathing deep. Then call the damn lead. Call the damn lead.